Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the third technical session of the Ambassadors of Nature program. I'm Aditi, and today we have with us Dr. P.R. Arun, whom I will introduce shortly. Today's program will begin with participants sharing their experience on the last weeks of assignment. And then Dr. Arun will take the technical session on butterflies, and then Dr. Pramod will take over the field assignment session. So the last two during two last 2 weeks, we expect you all must have been exploring the plant world and running behind the birds. And in this week, we are excited to introduce you to the wonderful creatures, flying flowers, as I say, the butterflies. A famous English naturalist and explorer who gave the first scientific account of mimicry in animals, Henry Walter Bates, once said, on these expanded membranes, nature writes, as on a tablet, the story of the modifications of species. As the laws of nature must be the same for all beings, the conclusions furnished by this group of insects must be applicable to the whole world. With this beautiful description of these brightly colored winged insects, I would like to introduce our speaker for today, Dr. P.R. Arun. Dr. Arun has completed his master's from University of Calicut, Kerala, with specialization in entomology. Entomology is the scientific study of insects and was among the first batch of research scholars at SACON. For his PhD, Dr. Arun worked on seasonality and abundance of insects with special reference to butterflies in the moist deciduous forest of Siruvani, Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve in Tamil Nadu. His research interests are broadly in objective interdisciplinary ecological research, especially on environmental impact assessment studies, environmental jurisprudence, and ecological entomology. So with this brief introduction, I would first like to request our coordinator, Dr. Pramod, to say a few words and kindly begin the session. And then we'll move on to Dr. Arun. Over to you, Pramod, sir. Pramod, sir?
Yes, no, somebody's got a disconnected for some time. That's fine. Hello? Am I
Yeah,
not?
yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay. Oh, hello? Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Okay. So, good morning, all. How was the last 1 week?
Super, sir.
Nice, sir.
Okay.
Super, sir.
Now you have last 1 week. You had the experience of birds, observing birds. There was some few hands-on and field session, which all of you have submitted your assignments. I'm very happy. All of you have done very well. With some people had some difficulty, which we could see in the assignment. Otherwise, it was much better than what we expected from your side. Congratulations to you all. So as we did first, we did for the plants, then we did for the butterfly, these birds. Now the next week is going to be on insects in general, with specific reference and specific focus on butterflies. So today's speaker will talk to you about insects with a focus on butterflies. And your assignments, by and large, among the world of insects, for the children, butterflies is more accessible, and for you can easily observe them and you can do better assignments. So we have restricted most of the assignments to the butterflies, about which we will go to after the talk of Dr. Arun. And before that, now, of course, we have gone through your assignments on birds, but I would like each one of you, just say as in the previous day, tell your opinion or your experience or your excitement or whatever you are wanted to say within 1 minute, as usual. But you said the most exciting, most important thing in 1 minute, one point. Many of you Your the sheets and your assignment sheets we have gone through. It was all nice, but you tell us what was your just takeaway. One point, most exciting thing from your experience. Okay, so Aditi, you can call their name and
Yes.
they will tell.
Sure, sir. So we'll start with Vivan Singh from Delhi.
Vivan.
Vivan? Vivan, can you hear us? Because we can see you.
What is happening?
I can see him. Vivan, you there?
Ma'am is sending message that your voice is not clear.
Vivan.
Am I audible to others?
Yes,
ma'am.
I think then Vivan might have a network issue or something.
Okay, you call the second person.
All right. Next is Saida Asba Fatima from Chhattisgarh.
I learned diversity of birds. I observed that different birds come in different time. I love watching them, and the bird is very beautiful creature.
Okay, Shaida, it was good. You have seen a lot of sparrow in your surrounding, right? Good. Okay, the next one.
Vivan, can you still hear us? Would you like to present? I think no. So next is Ritvik Bala from Tamil Nadu.
Yes, come. Yes, not come, no?
I'm not able
No,
to.
Ritik has not come.
Okay. Dibadrita Roy from West Bengal. Ritvik now has come.
Okay. Okay, now anyway, Devadita, let him come.
That's why I can't start video. Ma'am, I have some network problem. That's why I can't start video.
Sure.
Okay.
You can just share your experience.
Speak.
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon, everybody. Last week, I spent a holiday mode with my parents. Through this assignment, now I have changed my observing attitude. I used to observe birds every day, but lastly, I observed that they have different characteristics in two habitats. Like I saw many house crow in my house yard because they have loved to eat human refusal. Actually, they are omnivorous, and that's why I noticed them more in my house yard than garden. Common myna also like this. I saw them more near my house. Both of them are very brave. I noticed more number of sparrow around my
Okay.
All right.
Hello?
house. It is better than that.
Okay. Devadita, you have in your third.
Yes, sir.
Hello. In your third assignment, you have given Hadichacha. Hadichacha means for in Bangla it is tree pie, right? And you have written tree pie.
But the photograph is Kaukal.
Photograph is of a greater cockle. And your observation also I feel is about the greater cockle, the same bird of your photograph. But what the name is given is Hadichacha, which is actually tree pie. So there is a small mistake. But otherwise, you have done a fantastic observation. Your assessment and all was good. Okay.
And we especially like the colloquial terms in Bangla, which is very nice. Yeah.
It is good. Your work was very good, but that was a small mistake. Hadichacha is not the photograph. What you have seen, the bird which you have seen is not Hadichacha. It is. It is greater cockle or crow pheasant. Okay. Okay. The next person.
Okay. So we'll move on to Adrija Bhattacharjee from West Bengal again.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Adrija Bhattacharjee, and I spent the last week in great enthusiasm. I had to wake up early in the morning, which was a bit difficult for me. But the rest of the part was really good. In the morning, mostly I saw the red-vented bulbuls, and the most fascinating part was that they come out only in sunshine and they hide behind the trees when it's cloudy. So the on the third day and fourth day, it was cloudy, so they didn't come out. But near the noon, when I went out in the streets, I saw that there were a lot of bulbuls in the same place where I didn't see them in the morning. Instead, they were hiding behind the trees. So I learned a lot of things about the birds in this week, and I'm really grateful for that. And I'm looking forward to more sessions in this. Thank you.
Good.
Thanks, Adrija. Good. So next is Navya Ahuja from Delhi. Navya, would you like to share your experience?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning to all. I'm Navya Ahuja from New Delhi. It was a very amazing week as I spent my time watching and observing the birds, spending their time. The birds, which differ in color, size, habits, habitats, feeding habits, and everything else, but still look beautiful. Every single species of birds, there is so much variety that sometimes it is really striking. From seeing the crows build their nest to normal house crows fighting for their own area, and even seeing the little beautiful sparrows fly and twitter around, to seeing the parakeets chirping beautifully. It was a very wonderful experience. Now, even every small thing that I observe or relating to birds around me seems very exciting, and I'm very much looking forward to the next week. So
Now you could come out of your home this week.
yes, sir.
So your containment zone is over.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
And I think it was very interesting that you could spot so many sparrows in Delhi. So it was nice.
Yeah, that is. So that is one point which I want to tell you all. Of the total 14, of the 16, 15 people have responded, and nearly 10 people had, of the 16, 10 people had this house sparrow they have sighted. So house sparrow is not that uncommon. That is what our research also says. But now this is what your observations also are telling. You are different. Though despite all of them, many of you are in the cities. Even then, we have got 10 out of 16 people sighting house sparrows. Good. Next person.
Yeah. So the next one would be Vaishnavi Shri from Tamil Nadu. Vaishnavi, you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah.
So good morning, everybody. I'm Vaishnavi Shri from Coimbatore. So I've been birding for the past 7 years. So the last week I spent was a jolly good time despite I had my exams. So I'm desperate that I didn't spot house sparrows in my area. So, and I also could correlate the last week assignments of plant diversity in my area. So, like I used to write, I spotted this bird on this tree, but I was able to write the name of the tree during this assignment. So that was one thing I learned, and it was jolly. I spent wonderful time in birding every day. So I'm looking forward for today's assignment. Thank you.
Next week we are going to do butterflying every day. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next we have Pranavi Saravanan. Pranavi, you there?
Pranavi Saravanan has not come, no?
Because she joined, I just admitted her. Anyways, so you'll see. Vivan Singh, can you hear us now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you share your experience with us?
Yes, ma'am. I like this week's field assignment because I saw many rare birds which I did not know about. The problem earlier was that I did not know where to look, but you told me that I should go to abandoned places, and that was where I found many rare birds. Like they didn't go to places where it was crowded and all that. They only went to abandoned places where people did not go. So I learned this in this week's field assignment, and I also liked it.
Very good. Very good.
Nice. So Ritvik Bala, you there? Okay, next Arun.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's this?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. So, uh, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ritik Bara. The last week I learned many things. I was surprised to know that there were many birds in our apartment's park. Actually, there's a flame of the forest tree in our park, and there were many sunbirds, flower pickers, and there were munias. There were bulbuls, and there were many other birds which I spotted this week. It was a very nice learning experience. Thank you.
Okay, Ritik.
Ritvik, thanks. So next we have Tarun Siddharth.
Good evening, good afternoon, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm Tarun Siddharth from Pollachi, Coimbatore. Last week's field assignment was, I enjoyed it a lot. I had a lot of house sparrows in my backyard and in the water tank down the road. So I enjoyed sighting them, and I often saw the miners taking a dust bath or picking the worms to feed their chicks. I liked that a lot. And there was an incident when one crow got hurt, and a lot of other crows and house crows went flying to aid the crow, and that scared a lot of birds, and they went and hit in the Ashoka tree in my neighbor's house. I like that. Thank
Okay.
you.
Good.
Nice, Tarun. So next is Krishna Kishore from Telangana.
Ma'am, the birds need privacy, ma'am, not only human beings. As I get near to them, they fly away.
Yeah, you
And
should
the most
have your
thing,
binoculars.
You.
the most enjoying thing was that only going behind them, capturing, and going behind them. I went into one deep forest where I got lost.
Oh,
But I had a mobile phone with me. Luckily, I came by
Krishna
seeing.
Kishore, where is the deep forest near your home?
Not very deep, sir. Like 2 acre forest. Surrounding roads will be, sir.
Okay.
There I found many rare birds, sir. Here I couldn't find at the entry of that forest type area. Inside there were peacocks, minimum 10 to 20, peahens, and woodpeckers, black kites.
But your data shows only pigeons are there in most of your case. Mostly pigeons are the main number.
That is near my house, sir.
Every point, 50, 60 pigeons.
That is near my house, sir. But in that place, means woodpeckers also I saw yesterday, sir. That before that only I submitted my assignment.
Okay, excellent.
But it was super, sir. Just
Okay.
watching the birds made me feel enormous energy, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, Aditi.
yeah. Next time you should try not going too close to the birds. You can just watch them from distance. Yeah. So thanks,
I
Krishna.
have written that. No, don't go closer.
Yeah. And especially if there are nests and all, you should never go close to the nests. So anyways, thanks, Kishore. Next is Pranavi Kulotungan. Pranavi, you there? Yeah.
Good morning. This assignment was very useful and I learned more about a bird. And when I observed one tree, there was a lot of birds coming to the same tree. I was very surprised that in a single tree how this much birds are coming. And I observed a lake near my house. And I learned more birds' names. There was a bird, ma'am. For that, I don't know the name itself. From this assignment, I learned the names. Thank you.
Okay, Pranavi, in your assignment, you have written that your anxiety that how the birds will, what the birds will do in the cyclone and the calamities, and compared to when we have a home to escape and all. you know what will happen whether you have in a tsunami or all calamities, birds are not getting really affected. More, they know how to escape. We are the fools who don't know how to escape. Okay, we are getting affected because we do all foolish things. Birds are always, they know how to escape from this natural thing. What birds don't know is when we do all kind of nasty thing, how to escape from us, they don't know. That was the main issue. Okay, so we have to save them because we should not do any bad to them. Natural thing, birds know much better way than us, because birds are flying here 150 million years in this world. We are only last 1 lakh years. Okay, that is so they are much better in this case of handling nature things.
Are much better adapted. So yeah.
Okay.
So nice to see your observation, Pranavi. So next is Tarun Moizuddin from Maharashtra. Tarun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning. This assignment was actually really interesting. One of my main observations in this assignment was that different birds had a different level of distance they wanted to keep from people, like when we tried to go close to them. So, for example, the paradise flycatcher stayed really close to us, like less than 4 feet away, and it didn't go away. Whereas the babblers flew away when we were at least 10 feet away. So different birds have a different thing of where they want to leave. Thank you.
Very good, very good. This is a good observation. This is the way which I want everybody had to learn. You have so many things to actually learn. You can think about this. A new observation actually. The more how much the personal space they allow human beings to come close. This is a very interesting. Nice, Tarun. Good.
Thank you, sir.
Tarun. Yeah. So next is Ishani from Tamil Nadu. Ishani Vivek.
Yes, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, hi Ishani.
So this assignment was really wonderful, made me observe a lot and also learned a lot from this assignment. Two things I want to say in this place is, as Pramod sir told, there is 10 people observe house sparrow near their surroundings. Actually, I also used to see house sparrows near my house. I selected 2 habitats. In that habitat, I can't see any house sparrow, but another near my, after 2 houses, there is a nesting of house sparrow. It's actually building the nest. So you can count as 11. And another thing is, I was observing a rosy starling. So that rosy starling is always with the group of Brahmi starling, also with mynas, common mynas, and that feeds on, as common mynas, that feeds on fruits, also insects at times. So that was a very interesting observation in my assignments. Thank you.
Excellent.
Very good work, Ishani. You can still hear us, right? Yeah. So thanks, Ishani. Next is Pragadishwaran. Are you there, Pragadishwaran? Okay, next is Arnav Deshmukh from Maharashtra. Arnav,
yes, ma'am. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. This week was very interesting for me as I have seen a lot of birds, and the best thing for me was when I saw that birds were fighting. And also, when I saw them, the 3 black drongos were beating a crow with their neck, with their beak, and it was a very wonderful scene. Thank you.
That is a good observation. Actually,
thank you, sir.
This background has a permanent animosity with the crows because they don't like.
Yes, sir.
Because the crows come and eat their eggs. So wherever they go see a crow, they will chase them. In Kerala, Malayalam, The name of the black drongo itself is some sort of, it's called Kakatamburati. This is to chase away the crows. So
yes, sir. They were chasing the crow and beating him with their beak.
Yes, that's a good observation. Good, congrats.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Arnav. Very good observation. So next would be Parthivan. You there?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to all. I want to share my project experience with you. This project helps me to see many birds' beautiful behavior. In this project, given most of the birds not present in my surroundings, but I have observed maximum number of birds present in my surroundings. I saw beautiful birds like purple sunbird, one of my favorite, and rose-ringed parakeet, etc. In my childhood days, I saw many sparrows, mynas in my surroundings. I heard those bird sounds also. But nowadays, I'm missing them a lot. In my second habitat, roadside, many road kills were conducted. I saw in these 5 days, I see 5 to 6 house crows dead in the road. Apart from this project, I got awareness from roadkill of birds.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thanks, Parthivan. Yeah, so anyone else is left? I think Pranavi Saravanan, if she's there.
Pranavi Saravanan only missing, no?
She's here. I can see her name.
Okay, otherwise.
I think she's unmuted. Pranavi, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, would you like to share your experience?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, all. I am Pranavi Saravanan from Coimbatore. In my last assignment, I learned more about birds in my garden and in my street. Usually daily, I'll be riding cycle. At that time, I used to watch more birds like greater cowcul, crows, robinhood, parrots, cranes, honeybirds, etc. I used to hear their chirping sound when I wake up in morning, which will be pleasant to hear. And this assignment, it was so good, and I love bird watching also. I observed more things in this assignment. Thank you.
Pranavi, good. You are in your assignment. There was observation on parrots you have put. A lot of very good, interesting observations and all you have put. But you should understand that 30, 40, 20, 30 individuals, what you saw is not parrots now we call, because the one which we are seeing around here is parakeets. The long-tailed parrots, which is called what we call, is a parakeet. Since you are now actually developing as a bird watcher, now you should understand the name of that birds are parakeets, not parrots. Okay. Hello? Pranavi?
Sir?
Are you hearing?
Yes, sir.
What you have seen is parakeets, not parrots. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Good.
So thank you. Thanks again, everyone, for sharing your really amazing, interesting observations. And so, sir, shall we move to Arun sir's technical session? Yeah. So.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. Who's this? Yeah, Debadrita, tell me.
Sir, I am Debadrita. I have a plan, sir.
Yes.
I will hang few earthen pots on plants in our house yard with food grains as.
It's not clear.
Yeah, I think there is some. Debadrita, you can just write it in the chat box. I think there is some problem in the network connectivity.
Okay.
You can write your observations. We can discuss later. So now we'll just move on quickly to the actual session, which is a technical session on butterflies. And Dr. Arun will handle this session for you all. So over to you, Arun, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. So,
good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. So, it's very nice to see you and hear your experience in the past week and all that thing. So, probably you will have another exciting week ahead with the butterflies, probably. So, I am Dr. Dr. Arun. I did my PhD on butterflies, and after that, I am out of touch with the butterflies for quite some time, actually. So anyway, I refreshed my butterfly memories for this talk when very short notice only was given, but still I got to manage a presentation from my old presentations, everything. But basically, I worked on butterflies for my PhD, and then also I was involved in later also in some work in butterflies in South India as well as in Mumbai city itself. I have made some documentation. So anyway, butterflies are a very interesting group. I will just start my presentation. I will share my screen. Yes, everybody can see my slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So butterflies, as you all know, they are very familiar. It is there all around you. It is even more familiar than birds because birds at least keep some distance from you, we people. But then butterflies, if you are really patient and you can really approach them very close. And as usual, as kids always like to even catch the butterflies and all that, but you should not do it because they are beautiful creatures that they have their own life. And the main thing with butterflies is unlike other, if you try to catch a bird, they will peck you, or if any other insect, it will sting you, bite you. But butterflies are the most harmless thing. So they cannot do anything to you. They will not, they cannot bite you because they don't have a mouth, and they cannot sting you. They don't have a sting, and they are just beauty without any harm. It cannot do any harm to you. So they are often compared with the flowers of the animal world, because just like flowers on the plants, even on a thorny bush you will have a beautiful flower. Flower is totally harmless, and it is only a thing of beauty. So the adult butterflies are like that. They cannot do any harm to you. They are just beautiful objects. So before coming to the actual butterfly specialities, let me just tell you that these butterflies are actually a part of a large group of animals, that is insects. Again, it is under the animals are classified by scientists into different groups, and there are 33 different animal phyla. Of that, 9 represent vast majority of species that we know. So among that, the most important group is actually the arthropoda, which contains insects as well as other arthropods. So they, apart from insects, it also includes ticks, spiders, crabs, and a lot of other animals which are under that group. So they are very important from the point of biodiversity, especially because they are the most numerous or most diverse group of animals in this planet. And they are more than 80% of the described living animal species are supposed to be from this group. So you can just imagine the importance of them. And if they are not there, then the world would have been a different place, because they play such an important role in the ecology. Anyway, you will be learning more about all these things in maybe in your academic curricula. So I am not going into all that detail. Just to introduce you, the arthropods means the term as it represents, it is joined appendages. So the legs will have different fragments joined together. So that is how they got the name arthropods. Pod means appendage and arthro means segmented. So there are different kinds of arthropods. So in this picture, you can see many different kinds of arthropods. So The first one is an ant. So that is the representative of the insect group. So there are other groups also. So coming to insects, again, as I told you, it is most diverse group, and if you cannot really count the number of forget about individuals, even species around you. That many species will be there. Millions of species are there. So all of this will be familiar to you. This is often found around you: a grasshopper, stick insects, or butterflies, dragonflies. Everybody has its own ecological niche. That means they feed on different kinds of things. They have all kinds of ecological spectrum is occupied by these insects. So now we are actually talking about, okay, just the importance of insects. I have just a small video. I think, is the audio audible to any of you?
No, sir.
No,
Yeah,
sir.
there is a
Yes,
problem with
sir.
audio. You can hear? The
No,
audio
sir.
of that this clipping. Anybody can hear?
No, sir.
No. So anyway, we are trying that initially, couldn't find it out, but only you can just see the pictures. It is actually a very important part of the food web, and they occupy different. They are major food source of animals like reptiles and lower group of animals. They have different kinds of mouth parts. They are also predators like dragonflies, which actually hunt and eat other insects and other animals. Then there are herbivores like caterpillars of the butterflies, and also many other insects which feed on plants. And also there are many which feed on dead animal dead bodies and all this. If they were not there, the world would have been a dumping yard of waste without easily getting degraded. So also another important thing is people often consider insects as pests, but the pests are actually a very small fragment of the diversity of insects. So they are all often mistaken for pests, but the vast majority of insects are beneficial to us than harmful. So now coming to our special group, that is order Lepidoptera of the class Insecta. So that contains not only butterflies, also moths. There are two different kinds of animals included in this Lepidoptera. Lepidoptera means the wing with scales, because if you have ever caught a butterfly, you might have noticed some powder like thing stick to your hand. That is actually the scales on the wings. Actually, the wings are transparent. So the color is given by the scales present on those wings. So that is why they got that name, scaled wings. That is why Lepidoptera. So there are two groups, butterflies and moths. Butterflies, again, you can distinguish between butterflies and moths based on some broad characteristics. In the field itself, you can, by looking at them, you can say whether they are a moth or a butterfly. First, in this slide, you can see the first one is actually a butterfly, and the right one, this one is a moth. So butterflies often fold their wings like this. That is one major characteristic. So every rule has exceptions. Okay, these are general rules. So moths often fold their wings like this, like roof-like over their body. So this is one major characteristics. Another one thing is body size. You can see the body of moths are very bulky. At the same time, if you see the body of a butterfly, it is very slender. Then antenna will be club-shaped in the butterflies. In moths, it is diverse kinds of antennas are present, and either filamentous or like feather-like, and there are a lot of types of antenna found. So in the butterflies, you can see the antenna is like a filament. Then in the end, it will be thick. it will be thickened like a club. That is why this is another character of butterfly. Then habits are different. Moths often don't come to flowers, but often come to the flowers for nectar is our moth, our butterflies. Then there are scientifically they are classified into butterflies are Rhopalocerans and Heterocera is the moths. Then, as I told you, they are all supposed to be very delicate beauties and they cannot harm anybody. We are last assignment, people were telling but birds, they saw them fighting and this thing and all that. But you can never see butterflies fighting because they are the most peace-loving Gandhian organisms. So they don't fight and they don't have any claw, they don't have any sting, they don't have any biting mouth parts to fight in the first place. So they are the peaceful and most loving creatures of the world. So treat them also like that. So approach them also with that kind of love and affection and enthusiasm. You can always watch them, go close, you can take photographs, but never try to touch them or catch them. So there are another interesting things between butterflies and birds is like in the plant world, you can compare them with the flowers, like animal world, probably they are also like vertebrates. It is like birds to vertebrates is what butterflies to invertebrates. So among the invertebrates, these are the ones who can actually fly. The same like among the vertebrates, it is the birds. So again, another misconception is moths are not very beautiful and colorful and butterflies are colorful. Generally, the rule is that, but there are exceptional ones. So in this slide, you can see the first one, this moon moth and the atlas moth. Both are moths actually, but then they looks equally or more colorful and strikingly beautiful like butterflies. These other two are butterflies. The first one is Troidus minnow, or the southern birdwing. This is supposed to be the largest in this part. There is a Himalayan birdwing butterfly, also large one. So this is the largest butterfly, and this is in India. Okay, I'm talking about the Indian context. So this is another large butterfly, the blue mormon. It is found in mostly along the Western Ghats, and the North India may not be seen. So coming to the importance of butterfly, they are not just the objects of beauty or just for aesthetic beauty. They have much bigger role to play in the ecosystem, not only as adults, in their larval stages also. So that is another very interesting character of butterflies, because they are not the butterflies that we are all familiar with is the adult ones, which are on wings with very brightly colored and beautiful ones. But there is another side of the coin, which is actually the caterpillars. What comes out of the eggs of a butterfly is actually not a small butterfly, it is actually a caterpillar. And this is very amazing thing because it is totally different from the adult butterfly. Adult butterflies' food habits, the entire ecology is different compared to the larval stage. Larval stage require totally different requirements compared to the adults. So that is why they are also considered as good indicators of ecosystem, because ecosystem, there are flowers doesn't mean that there will be butterflies. You need particular plant diversity for that to have a diverse butterflies in that area. So the life history of a butterfly is the most amazing thing. If at all you happens to see any butterfly laying egg on a plant, try to monitor that, how the caterpillar comes out, and then how the pupation happens. Then finally the adult butterflies comes out of it. Is the most dramatic transformation in nature. So you will be amazed to see how a ugly looking caterpillar, so voracious feeder, and often we consider it as a pest or something, is suddenly transforms into a most beautiful thing, which cannot do any kind of harm to you, and it can only pleasing to your eye. So that is that is why Gautam Buddha once said, you can learn much more from a butterfly than the books or the literature in this world, because you observe nature and how even the most ugly things or most what you don't like things may have a different another aspect of it which you don't see. So that is what he meant to say. So you can learn from the butterfly's life cycle a lot of things, how things transform in this world, how things can be actually transformed into different things. So all that. So that is the about life cycle. So if you get an opportunity, try to see and monitor the life cycle of at least one butterfly. You can, if follow butterflies, you can see them laying eggs. While flying, they will bend their abdomen and try to, most of them try to place their eggs under the leaf surfaces. Even many of them put on the upper surface of the leaf also. But if you closely follow the butterfly, you can see them laying the eggs. And then every day, if you monitor, you can actually see the life stages, how the caterpillar comes out, how it becomes big and then stop eating and then becoming a pupa and all that. So it is a very interesting exercise for you to do. Then coming to other major role played by the butterflies, it is pollination. So you all may be knowing how to bear fruits, the plants need pollination, need to be pollinated. Male and female flowers has to get pollinated. Pollen grains should reach the female flower from the male flower. So that has to be, there has to be an agency to do that. So there are multiple agencies like insects, birds, then wind. There are a lot of agencies which help them. So bees are the major pollinators, but butterflies also play their role in pollination. So they are also ecologically important as a pollinator as well in the ecosystem. Then coming to other things, what you can learn from, we have learned a lot of other things also from butterflies, like inspiring fighter jet designs. Probably you may think that what is a fighter jet to do with butterflies, because these are Hesperid butterflies. The body wise they look like a moth, but actually they are butterflies. But they are very fast flying butterflies. So you can see the wing shape is totally different from this butterfly. It is not a flat, broad wing. So this kind of wing actually help in very fast flight, and the best suited for suddenly changing directions in the flight and all that. So this design actually is copied in our fighter jet design. So I'll come to it. And another one is the way they produce color. As you all know, butterflies are very colorful, and they also teach us a lot of things, how you can produce better colors. So we use colors for everything in our life. We need to paint our buildings, or our clothes are colored, our vehicles are colored. We need coloring for everything. So, and we use pigments or coloring materials, but they also teach us you can make color without using pigments or any coloring substance. So another issue is the most polluting things are coming out from the dyes we use. Dyes are very polluting things. So if you can learn from this butterfly, this is a morpho butterfly, you can see the bright metallic color of the wings. So we may think that it is some toxic substances are placed there for the color, because if you can also make this color kind of color. We have paints which produce similar color, but these are all made from toxic, most often chromium kind of heavy metal based colors, which are actually very harmful for us. But how these butterfly produce this color, it is very, very interesting. They produce color by using prisms, minute prisms in their wings. This is a magnified image of their wing. So these are the veins, and you can see small scales are actually transparent prism-like. So they arrange it in such a way that only that desired color is refracted out of that arrangement. So this is so impressive color producing mechanism. So you can actually, if you can copy it into our systems, our ways of coloring things, so you can actually paint our vehicles, our buildings, our all coloring can be done using this technology. You can even change color according to your wish by just rearranging these prisms electronically or otherwise. So it is, the options are infinite if you really learn from this butterfly how to produce this kind of colors. So you can see that.
Excuse me, sir.
Hello?
Sir, this, can I tell one thing?
Sir,
this optical brilliance butterfly you mentioned, no, sir? I saw one video in YouTube, sir. When they kept a camera at one angle, its color changed. At another angle, its color changed. And when they zoomed, means there is no wing only. It is all holes.
Yes.
And they said at last that it is all due to refraction in the butterfly that we see the color.
That probably it was a damselfly. There are damselflies which produce color the same way. From different angle you will see different thing. But this butterfly's wing, in every direction you see the same color, but still they are using the same refraction technique. But how they manage it is still the optical engineers are wondering how they are arranged it in such a way that from every angle you see the same color. So that is the thing. It is the biological world. The engineers are so intelligent, much more intelligent than our optical engineers. So this is what I was telling. Wing design. So you can see the striking similarity in the wings of this thing. So you can see even the antenna is there for same like our butterfly. It is a palm dart butterfly. So this is how you can learn a lot of things from nature, because this otherwise you should have invented this kind of a design by testing a lot of different shapes. But actually you can look into the nature and find out which butterfly flies so fast or how they are able to do that. So similar design you can actually test. So it is much helpful for us also. In a lot of other technologies you can adapt this kind of useful technologies present in the animal world.
Sir, can you just tell the name again? Students can note down name of the butterfly on the wings.
Is the palm dart.
Palm dart.
Yeah. Okay. There are a lot of the skipper. Many of the skipper butterflies are same design.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So coming to another interesting aspects of butterfly life, one is migration. You might have heard of migrating butterflies. So there are some basic difference between bird migration and butterfly migration. The most famous butterfly migration is that of monarch. So this slide shows actually the congregation of monarchs on a tree en route, their migration. So these butterflies actually migrate in such large numbers and such a great distance, almost for 4,500 kilometers they migrate in North America. So between seasons, so you know they can, one single butterfly cannot cover that much distance because their lifespan itself is just a few weeks or maximum 1 or 2 months. So what happens is they travel to some distance, they reproduce, their life cycle continues, the next generation again travel in the same direction. So that inbuilt signal is there within the generation to generation. It is passed in which direction they are to move, and then the return migration also the same way. I'll just show you a small video of how they are.
The monarch butterfly migration is one of a kind. It's totally unmatched in the insect world. It's more like the migration of some birds. I mean, we're talking distances of up to 4,500 kilometers each way, north and south. But there's one big thing that makes this migration different from what birds and other animals do. It actually takes multiple generations of butterflies to do it. And as you're about to learn, that's what makes it so amazing. Our journey starts in spring as monarchs make their way north. It's a leapfrog kind of journey. Each generation flies, mates, lays their eggs, and ultimately dies as it passes the baton to the next generation. Now, a typical adult monarch only lives for 2 to 6 weeks, so it takes 4, sometimes 5 generations to make the trip north. The fading light of summer marks the end of their northern migration. Shorter days and cooler temperatures prompt female butterflies to lay a special generation of eggs. When they hatch, the caterpillars that emerge are very different from their parents.
Okay, could you hear the audio? No.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We could.
You could hear, huh?
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear.
yes, everybody.
Oh, but only the initial video audio was not. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Then I think it was some problem with that clip.
Right.
So migration is not just in America, it also happens in our place. Even our institute, SACON, during November, December period, there are a lot of butterflies migrating annually through the campus. So it is all local migration. It is not to 4,500 kilometer or that kind of an extent is not happening, but migration do happen in our place also. So you can also observe for butterflies whether they are migrating. How do you distinguish between a migrating butterflies and a normal flying butterflies? Because migration is happening always in groups. So there will be hundreds or tens on scores and hundreds of butterflies moving in a fixed direction. So you can see them. Otherwise, they don't fly in a fixed direction. No, they will be looking for some flowers and they will be flying zigzag here, there, in not a fixed direction. So if you see a group of butterflies flying in a fixed direction, one group followed by another group, or continuously they are moving in a single direction, you can say that it is actually migrating. It is a local migration or movement of butterflies. So try to look for such interesting things in your area also if there is any group of butterflies. Danite butterflies generally do migrate. So you can see this monarchs looks very similar to one of the butterflies we have here, like the striped tiger butterflies. They look very similar to these monarch butterflies. So you can see them in your surroundings if you closely observe. They are also very common butterflies. Then another interesting behavioral aspects of butterflies is mud puddling. So as I told you, adult butterflies don't have a mouth to eat anything else other than a proboscis. They have a long tube attached to as a mouth. So you imagine your mouth is fixed with a tube, a long tube, curled tube. So you can only suck liquid food. You cannot eat anything solid or any other kind of food. You cannot bite anything. Only liquid can be taken in. So butterflies are like that. Their mouth is actually a proboscis. It is a long tube. So they can only suck liquid food. So what happens because of that, they can only, if you only feed on the nectar of flowers that contains just glucose or the sugar and water. There is no other things necessary for our metabolism. So they need amino acids, they have need salts, other things. So for that, what they do is they actually suck such things from wet mud, or they can see them, you can see them sitting on different kinds of substances, wet mud or dead animals or carcass of some dead crab, or you can even see them on the excreta and urine of other animals. They are actually trying to suck some alternate food also along with the nectar. So this is also required for their reproduction and all that. And many a times it is often male butterflies does that. They transfer these things to the female during mating, and there are a lot of science involved in that. So basically what I wanted to see you people see is look around to how butterflies are, apart from flowers, how they are going to other things, liquid things which they can suck, and why they are going to a particular, try to find out why they are attracted to a particular place or particular thing. So There are a lot of things. If you actually, you can Google it and find out why they are going to a particular thing. If you observe a particular thing is attracting butterflies, and there are some certain, even the dead or drying vegetation attracts some butterflies. So there are a lot of things butterflies are attracted to. And if you really find some good attractant things, you can actually attract butterflies to a place using those attractants. And it is all interesting field exercise which you can do. It is all has to be, instead of somebody telling you what you have to use, it is better you go out and find which area or which kind of substance actually attract butterflies in the nature. So it is an interesting exercise you can do.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, how the butterfly sleep? Where they sleep?
Can't hear you. Please repeat.
Sir, how the butterflies sleep?
Sleep.
So he's asking how do they sleep and where do they sleep?
Oh, butterflies do sleep, but then often they sleep under the leaves. Because even during rainy season time also, you can see them resting under the leaves.
And
Most
even
of them.
after evening hours, if you go around in the park under the leaves, you can actually see butterflies roosting. It's called roosting. I think it's roosting, sir, right?
Roosting. Yeah.
Butterflies.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So these are again butterfly wing has several parts. You don't have to see all that thing, but these are all important terms which you should know if you want to study butterflies, because each spot is at which place, and all these things are important to know if you want to study butterflies in detail. And also when you are observing the butterflies, also try to if you can't identify the butterflies or take a good photograph of butterflies, at least try to draw a wing and mark in each place what was the color at this place, what was the color this side, or whether there was a spot here, and all that thing. If you actually note, then you can easily identify that species later. So always try to keep a notebook with you when you are observing butterflies in the field, and try to draw them and mark where was what color was there, whether there was a spot, whether there was a band on the wing, or all that, what color it was. So it will help you in learning more about butterflies and identifying them. So again, butterflies are again divided into subfamilies. There are different groups of butterflies in different families. So first, I will talk about the major families found in our place. So there are one more family which is represented by one or two species only. So I'm just talking about the five major families. Papilionidae, which is swallowtails, it is otherwise called. Main character is they will have a tail-like projection on the back wing. That is why they are called Papilionidae. And there are fairly big sized butterflies. You can see them in your garden. They will be colorful and attractive butterflies. Then another one is Nymphalidae butterfly. And this most interesting character about this butterfly is that it is a medium-sized butterflies. It is also very colorful and very diverse group of butterflies, but then it will have only 4 legs, visible 4 legs. If you insects, you know that they have 6 legs, right? The first 2 legs are actually atrophied and they use only the hind 2 legs. So if you observe this butterfly sitting closely, you can count actually 2 pairs of legs only. So this is another group. Then this is Spiridae. It's mostly called yellows. So most of them are colored in yellow shades of yellow. That is why they are called pirids or yellow butterflies. Yellows and whites they are called. There are many are in white color also. So then Hesperidae, as I told you, the skippers. These 3 groups you can easily observe. These are very prominent butterflies. You can easily see them. But these 2 groups, Lichenidae and Hesperidae, these are skippers and blues. The lichenids are called blues and Hesperids are skippers. Skippers means they skip. Their flight is like that. As I told you, they are very fast flying butterflies, and that's why they are called skippers. And as I've shown in the previous slide, they are also inspired by aeronautical engineers to design fighter jet wings and all that. Another small but beautiful group of butterflies is Lycaenid. And coming to this previous group, Hesperid, major characteristic of this butterfly is that, as I told you, it looks like moss in first look, and it has a large eyes, and it is a very cryptically colored. It is very difficult to locate these butterflies. Most of them. There are also colorful species among them, but then most of them are this kind of colors, very dark, dull brown color. And if they are in a dry kind of patches, it is very, very difficult to locate them. And also they are very fast flying, so you cannot actually approach them so easily like other groups of butterflies. Then coming to the last fifth group, that is like Lycaenid or blues. These butterflies are called blues because underside of the wings will be like this lot of patterns, but if they open the wing, most of them will have a blue shade inside their wings. So that is why the common name of this group is blue butterflies. So this is Lycaenid. So these are the 5 major groups of butterflies you can see around you. So now we will mostly talk about just some common. Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. I think Debadrita is unmuted.
Okay. So, I have fairly talked about all the major aspects of butterfly, their importance and their groups of butterflies, etc. Now I will come to a more introduce you with some of the common species of butterflies you can find around you. These are all some of the butterfly pictures taken by me in the field. So you can see even better photographs of your butterflies just right around your, wherever you are staying, whether it is in a city or in your rural or urban, whatever place you are staying. If you have plants around you, if are flowering plants around you, you will definitely see butterflies. So butterflies, if you really want to have more butterflies around you, you need not only have flowering plants, you also need to have the food plants of these butterflies. What are food plants of butterflies? Larval food plants, I mean, because adult, they don't have much choice. They will actually feed from any kind of flower which has nectar, and their proboscis can actually reach, because small butterflies and all cannot reach a long corolla tube of some of the flowers. So otherwise, they have multiple options. But in the larval stage, they can feed on a particular group of plants, or many of the butterflies have a single species of plant on which the caterpillar can grow. So these adult butterflies has to find that particular plant and then lay their eggs on this. It is so amazing that identifying plants is not a simple matter. This plant taxonomists has to identify the plants, they struggle. But these people, these butterflies, know exactly what is the plant on which my young one can grow. So they go and find out that plant, and they lay egg only on that plant, and then they feed on that plant and then come to butterfly. And this caterpillars feeding on this foliage or green leaves, you may think that it is a damaging thing and it is only cause loss to the plants. But even for that, there is another side. In the thick canopy forest, close canopy forests and all, it is said that the lower strata or underground vegetation, the ground level vegetation, is not favored in most of the close canopy kind of forest, because light cannot penetrate the canopy. So in some of the forests, this at least little light reaching down for the essential, some of the underground vegetation is sustained only because there are caterpillars and foliage feeding insects there. They actually make holes in these leaves and allow more light to penetrate. So they are often considered as the engineers which manage the light regime inside forest. So the roles they play are much, much larger than what we expect. So coming to some of the common butterflies around you, I am first coming to the first family, that is swallowtails, or the butterflies with a tail. So you can see them, see the tail on the back wing. There is a projection that is called tail, and this tail may not be always so prominent and long. It can be shorter also. And also this lichenids, the small blue butterflies, they also have tails, but that is a different kind of tail. This is a large butterflies with long tail. So this is tailed jay, it is called. It is a green butterfly. If it is among the foliage, it is very difficult to find out, and also it is very, very active butterfly. To get a photograph like this, I had to run behind that butterfly maybe for months together, because it is very, very difficult to catch this butterfly in a picture, because even at rest, it will be vibrating its wings so vigorously. So you cannot get a clear picture of this. So most often you will get some picture like this only, this down left. So this I took this photo from Mumbai when I was working on the butterflies of Godrej campus. So it was a great experience to get a picture of this butterfly. So you can also try. This is a challenge to take a clear photograph of tailed jay. Then blue mormon, it is another, as I told you, one of the large butterflies that you can find around you. But it is mostly restricted to the Western Ghats area. So Kerala, Karnataka, Goa, and up to Maharashtra, you can see this butterfly. Another one is common mormon. It is quite common, and you can see most of you will be able to see them, and you must have seen them. And they feed on lemon plants. They lay egg. You can see this one. It is actually laying an egg on a lemon plant leaf. So lemon plant, they are not very specific to any particular lemon plant. There are multiple species of any citrus genus plants. They will, and also there are some other families of plants also. So another interesting thing about this butterfly is, so butterflies, you may think that one pattern indicate one species. It is not true. Actually, the same species can have multiple kind of wing patterns and coloration. So this is one such butterfly. Different forms are there. So this is a male butterfly, and you can see this is a female butterfly, and you can see the wing pattern is different. It has a raw. It is actually mimicking another butterfly. So anyway, mimicry is another aspect of their ecology. So we will discuss it sometime later. So just understand that all butterflies that look different are not different species. There can be different looking ones which are actually the same species. So this is another lime butterfly. Again, the name is mainly because the food plant is lime and lemon plants. Then male and female look similar here, and many people might have seen this butterfly, very beautiful butterfly, large ones. Common mime, not so common, but then again they have different forms. This is different and this looks different. And there is one more form which is even totally different from these two. So this is common mime, Papilioclytia. Then crimson rose. This is another common butterfly. Many of you might have seen this butterfly around you. This butterfly is also a special butterfly because it is a poisonous butterfly. So I told you they are harmless. They don't do any harm to anyone. But I still say they are harmless, but it is poisonous. Because if you try to, they cannot do any harm to you. But then if you eat this butterfly, you will know. because during the larval stages, they feed on a toxic plant, Aristolochia plants. So they store that alkaloid in their body, and this is actually toxic to the predators. If any bird try to eat this butterfly, then it will spit it out and it will have a bad time. So then, and you can see the body color also red. So this is a warning coloration. So and the same, if the same wing pattern with body without this red color is actually another species. The common mormons female form actually imitate this butterfly, because the predators or some birds which have tried to eat this butterfly will definitely remember that this butterfly is distasteful and you cannot eat that butterfly. So the common mormon female will escape, because this is thinking that this butterfly cannot be eaten. Common mormon butterfly can be eaten actually. It is not toxic, but then it imitates this butterfly.
Krishna Kishore wants to
Poison
ask
will not
something.
hurt it.
Pardon?
Poison will not affect the butterfly, sir.
No. It is inert to the butterfly. It is stored in their skin, and it will be harmful to only the one who eat them. Otherwise, they don't get affected, or it is not harmful to that butterfly itself. It is only to the birds and other things which eat this get affected. Okay.
Sir, Pranavi Sarvanan is asking whether all the butterflies are nocturnal.
All the butterflies are diurnal.
So, Pranavi, you have your answer. They are all diurnal.
There are crepuscular, but mostly diurnal.
Mostly they are daytime, but even that all the most moths are the counterpart in the night. What is there in the night is a moth. Mostly the butterflies are in the day. This is their adjustment, their arrangement. Continue, Arunji.
This is another. This is also, you can see the body color, common rose. Again, it also feeds on the same Aristolochia plants, and it has toxins stored in their body. Those distasteful butterflies, and birds won't eat them. Another is common jay. We saw the tailed jay. This is common jay. This again papilionid family, but then you can see the tail is not that prominent, but still they are in the same family. Coming to the next family, Nymphalidae. I told you their character. You can count the legs. How many legs are there for this butterfly? 1, 2, 3, and the other one, that side, 4. There are only 4 legs visible. All insects are supposed to have 6 legs, and they also have 6 legs, but this first front 2 legs are atrophied, and it will be folded and kept in front. So they use it for tasting and all that. So it is more modified into play some other function than walking or sitting on. So this is gray pansy butterfly. So it is gray in color, and there are many pansy butterflies in this family. So we will see one by one. Junonia. This is tonicoster. This is another butterfly common in your gardens. Common baron. Again, very interesting butterfly. You can see them if you have a fruit shop or overripe fruits. If you keep banana or any other fruit, if you keep outside, you can attract these butterflies if they are around. They're strongly attracted to the over-ripened fruits. You can see that another interesting thing is that the proboscis of these butterflies are bright green, pale green, bright pale green color actually. So it is very striking color, their proboscis. Then chocolate pansy. This is, as you see, this chocolate in color. So I told you, first we saw the gray pansy, and they are also attracted to the sweat and secretions of animals. So you can see them. It is actually sitting on my face, and with great difficulty I took a photograph with my camera. It was I took it from Mumbai, I think. So you can also attract butterflies to your face and your hand, but provided you should walk a lot, you should sweat and then tired. If you should chase a butterfly for long, and then finally tired and you sit somewhere, they will come and sit on you. So you will be chasing that butterfly to take a photograph for kilometers, but they will not give you any chance to take a good photograph. But if you almost gave up and sit there, okay, we will go back now, this fellow will not give a pose, then it will be kind on you, it will come back to you and it will sit on right on your face. So you can try that. Common sailor, there is another butterfly, very beautiful butterfly, just black and white, but then the way they fly, they actually sail through the air, just like gliding through the air. So that's why. And their food plant is very notorious one. It is actually Mycona puriens, Mycona species actually. So this is actually an itching plant. So if you touch this plant, you will get badly itching, and some people are hypersensitive, and it can even lead to death because of swelling of the bronchial tube and all that. So this plant, as I told you, you may think that this plant is so useless. It is, again, it is a medicinal plant, by the way. But this plant is very required for this butterfly to survive. So this, if you want to have this beautiful butterfly, you have to bear with this itching plant also. So that is the beauty of nature. So if you don't see the nature as a whole, if you see this is an itching plant, it is not required for us, and if you destroy, you are actually destroying this butterfly also around it. So that is the nature. If you are to understand and enjoy, you have to enjoy it in its entirety. You should also take care of these beautiful butterflies as well as the itching plant, which actually act as a food plant for their caterpillars. Another beautiful butterfly, this is great egg fly. You can see the egg of that butterfly. These eggs are also so beautiful. Each egg is not like a smooth oval shaped egg, which we, by egg we mean it is a smooth round thing, right? But our butterfly eggs are most diverse. Each species has its own architectural design for its wing egg. So you can actually, if you have a lens, carry them when you are looking for butterflies. If you see them laying eggs, you can actually observe the eggs with the hand lens. It will be beautiful to watch the shape and architecture of the butterfly egg. Again, this is a beautiful butterfly. Its name is egg fly because it has an egg shaped patch on the wings. And you can see the caterpillars, totally ugly and spiny. Then Danaid egg fly, just like the previous species, it is a smaller species, but then the underside of the wing, see here underside of the wing is like this, with black and white, with a white patch. So see the underside here, it is brown with patch, and also it is a smaller butterfly. And another thing, its female has multiple forms. One form actually look like a plain tiger butterfly. So that is also another problem with butterfly. If you study more about butterfly, you will get more confused, because if you know little bit about butterfly, you can easily identify this as a plain tiger. But then if you know more about butterflies, you will get confused. If you see a plain tiger, you will think twice whether it is a female of Danaid egg fly or it is a actual plain tiger. So this is the Ineria form, it is called. So this is the plain tiger, which I was talking about, the female of the egg fly imitate. See this, this is the caterpillar. The caterpillar is also beautiful. And the food plant is this one. This is, you must be familiar with this plant. What is it called in your?
Erikalanjadi.
Erikalanjadi in this thing. What is?
Professor.
Calotropis, no? Calotropis. Calotropis, gigantea, and there is another species also. So you look for this kind of caterpillars on this plant around you. You must be able to spot at least one. This is striped tiger, which I told quite similar to the monarch, the great migrating butterfly. So this is also quite common. Again, same food plant. The caterpillar looks different. You can see more black on the caterpillar. And try to find at least few caterpillars of butterflies, because butterfly everybody knows. It is very easy to locate, but it is a different thing to locate caterpillar. You should know if you know the food plant of a butterfly, it is easier. Otherwise, searching all the vegetation for a caterpillar is difficult. So if you know some of the possible food plants of butterflies, then this kind of plants you can specially focus and look for caterpillar of butterflies. You should be able to find. Then common crow. The butterflies, another interesting thing is that their names are like, they have bird names, they have animal names, there are different kinds of animal groups names are there in the common names of butterflies. If you see the common crow, like peacock, all are butterflies. Butterfly names are there with the bird names. And same like animal names like tigers, leopards. Common leopard is there, common striped tiger is there. All are there in butterflies. So their names are very interesting and also easy to remember, because many of them, if you know a leopard, you can actually identify this leopard butterfly because the pattern is similar in color and pattern is same. Like common crow, it is blackish butterfly, which is very common like a crow. And so the name. So this food plant is actually this plant. What is this plant? Banyan tree. So if you have a banyan tree, small ones or leaf is accessible to you, try to look for caterpillars of this butterfly. There are different crows. There are different species of crows. This is a brown king crow and this is a common crow. Both are same. Find the difference. That is what I told. If you study more into the butterflies, you will get confused with even the common crow. You will see that whether it is common crow or another species. So the brown king crow, you can see the main character is the cell. There is an area in the wing called cell. When first I showed you the parts of the wing, the central disc like one patch is there, surrounded by the veins. And this patch is called cell. And there will be no spots in that cell. And if you see here, there will be 2 spots in the common crow, and this will not have. So if you have a butterfly flying around, if you ask whether it is a brown crow, it's a double-branded crow or a blue crow or whatever crow, it's difficult to say unless you, but most of them will be common crow. So if you fairly know butterflies, you will easily identify it common crow. But if you know better about butterflies, then you will get confused. Blue tiger. This is another beautiful butterfly. It's a migrating butterfly. My local migrant.
So just one query. Arun Siddharth was asking the host plant of common crow, whether is it people or banyan tree?
People.
Yeah, but you ended up saying
banyan tree. Okay. No.
It's people.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
It is right. Common name is banyan only, no? What is it called? Banyan tree. The other banyan tree is there with.
No. This is banyan tree is Bengalensis.
This one common name is what?
Religiosa people tree. Religiosa, it's a religion.
Ficus religiosa is people and Ficus bengalensis is the banyan
genus
tree.
Ficus, no? That is why I told Ficus.
Yeah.
But all ficus are food plants?
No. Religiosa. The religiosa leaves are different, no? That Ficus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's people. Yeah. Okay.
So this is blue tiger. Again, glossy blue tiger is there. You can see it's quite similar, but then these wings are more transparent. You can actually see the other wings pattern also through that. Then common castor. This castor plant, the food plant is castor, and the butterfly. If you have a castor plant around you, you should be always. Any castor plant I have seen at least one caterpillar of this around this place, because it is very what a camouflaged caterpillars, but then they are spiny with branched spines will be there on their body. You can see. So the middle part will be yellowish, just like the color of the midrib of that plant. And from a distance, you may not be able to see, but then if you closely examine the leaves, you can actually see them. Then common evening brown. Somebody was asking whether butterflies are nocturnal or diurnal. Most of them are diurnal, but like these evening browns, they are mostly found flying around the dusk and evening time, and they often come to the light also in the night, like moths. Moths are supposed mostly come to the light in the night, but this butterfly also comes to the light. They feed on rice plants and all the grasses. It's talking about the leopard butterfly. It's a name is leopard because it is a brown coat of leopard. It reminds you with spots. Especially this coloration is more visible in the underside or upper side of the wing. Underside is like this. Painted lady, this is one of the most widely distributed butterfly all across the world. And again, it is colorful upper side and underside of the wing. You can see it is very camouflaged. If you sit, it sits on dry foliage and all, it will be impossible to locate. Another thing is peacock pansy. Again, I don't know why the name is peacock pansy, only maybe because of this spot looks like the central disc of a peacock feather. Otherwise, it is a yellowish brown colored butterfly. This is lemon pansy. Again, only one explanation I could read was this spots looks like a lemon. That is why the name was given as lemon pansy. Otherwise, it has no relation with lemon plant or lemon. So coming to the next group, skippers or hesperid. So as I told you, it looks little unlikely for a butterfly. Their bulky body and large eyes and all remains as of a moth, but then they are butterflies. Their antenna is very distinctly club shaped. Then the wing folding pattern, everything is that of butterflies. This is common banded owl because it has a band across its wings. Then tricolored pied flat, it looks like not a member of this family at all because it looks like a nymphalid or something, but then in other characters it is same as this family. It is some of the few colorful species in this group. Dark palm dart, this straight swift. Then grass demon is the largest species actually in this group. In our area, I am talking about. Common cerulean. Then coming to the next, blues. This butterfly you should be able to find around your place, but then don't expect this size. It will be 1/4 of this size in my screen. Okay, so very small butterflies, but if you really want to enjoy the beauty of these butterflies, you need a magnifying lens. Otherwise, you cannot see them It is such a few millimeters only. Many of them are, the smallest butterflies are there in this group. This common pirate, another common lichenid butterfly you can find around you. It is just beautiful butterfly, but you can see there is no other color used, only white and black, but still they are so beautiful. Another pirate. It is in, I think it was photographed from north somewhere. I think it is not found here. Forget me not. This name is, it is, I think nobody will forget this because forget me not is the name itself. And you can see the inside of the wings. If they open the wings, the color is so bright, metallic blue color. Otherwise, the underside is very, just like common cerulean or any other, most other lichenids. Gram blue, again, similar. Underside of the wing, you can see all of them has a similar color, but then the upper side is different. Also, the spots are different. So the identification actually need to close examination of this species with a magnifying lens or high resolution photography. Malayan, there is another species. Grass blues, there are several grass blues. All look similar, but then the spot arrangement, everything is different. Size is different. Tiny grass blue is quite tiny. But another interesting thing, how you can identify butterflies, it is very difficult to identify it from the photos, many cases. But in the field, it is easy to identify. Like, for instance, this tiny grass blue, its behavior is quite different from the other other grass blues. They come and sit on a flower, and then it will move in a unique way. It will wave its wings left and right, both wings together. So no other grass blue does. But if you see the photograph, then it is difficult whether it moves or not. You cannot see in the photograph. No. So if you learn butterflies from not only from their that patterns and coloration, also try to look at the behavior or how there are some butterflies, they will come and sit at a place and then again immediately turn around. There is, so butterfly, it is unique character is that it will come and sit a place on a leaf and then turn around. So wherever it is, it will come and turn around. So that kind of characters are there for different butterflies. If you closely observe and follow butterfly, you can see each butterfly has its own individuality in their behavior. Then zebra blue is very easy to identify, zebra-like pattern on the wing. Common hedge blue, again another black and white butterfly. So are all very small butterflies. You should remember, you may not be able to see them so readily unless you go very close or you have a very good magnifying or binoculars. Plain sculpted. Then coming to the last family, I think, Pyridae. It is the yellows and whites. So this is common grass yellow, probably the most common species. All of you must have seen this species around you. But again, grass yellow, there are different species. Common grass yellow is there. Then three-spot grass yellow is there. Spotless grass yellow is there. But at least all these yellow-colored small butterflies, at least you try to identify it as a grass yellow. Then what grass yellow is again difficult for a beginner. Then common Jezebel. It is one unique butterfly in the sense that if you see, you must have noticed all these other butterflies, most of them has bright pattern when it opens the wing, because when they are sitting at a place or when they are feeding on something or they are mud puddling or wherever, so they try to be more indistinct compared to when they are on wing, because on the wing they have brighter colors on the inside. But this butterfly has a different pattern. It has a brighter color underside and the upper side is very damp, dull color. So again, it has a meaning for that butterfly psychology and all that. I'm not going into all that. I think I am already overshot the time. I'll just try to finish it fast. Common wanderer is another very beautiful colored butterfly. Again, there are different forms. Female has a different, see, this is a female. It looks totally different. And chocolate albatross, again, not a common butterfly, but then the broad chocolate color border around its wings gives its name, chocolate albatross. Common emigrant, another common butterfly, just like common yellow, grass yellow. This butterfly also has different forms. This is same butterfly in a different form. This is mottled emigrant. Again, this similar to the previous species, but it will have a mottled pattern on the wings, like zigzag patterns will be there. Great orange tip. Again, very fast flying and large butterfly. It will, if it opens the wing, you can see a orange colored tip to this front wings, forewings. That is why the name great orange tip. Then comes yellow orange tip, similar to great orange tip, but much smaller. It will have a yellow tip to the wing when it opens. Common gull, another common species. Mostly you can see the mud puddling. Psyche, this is another butterfly. It is very difficult to photograph again. It will be always flying in a very slow, wavy fashion in the forest. But so identifying in the field is much easier because the flight is so peculiar. So no other butterfly fly like this. It will be like suspended in air. It will just fly like that. If you should see them in the flight, it is a beauty, but I don't have a video of that. This is small salmon Arab. It actually lays eggs on meswak plant. You know meswak? It is actually, there are toothpaste and all.
Yes, sir.
There are some toothpaste and all coming out of that plant. So it's found mostly in north, in Gujarat and all, very common. So they lay egg on this plants, and you can see the eggs and the caterpillars. These are all, I have taken all these stages in the field myself.
Sir?
So, yeah.
Sir,
yes.
Do all those eggs turn into caterpillars?
Yes. But all of them may not reach, become a butterfly, because birds will eat. There are a lot of other predators for them. And also some of them, like just like any other egg, some eggs may not even hatch also if there is proper conditions are not there. If it is desiccated, sometimes bright sunlight may dry the eggs and it may not. So there are a lot of factors involved in nature, but then ideal condition, everything will hatch. So all caterpillars will come out. Again, it will be fed on by birds or other predators, whatever. Even other insects can eat. There are predatory insects, they can feed on them. So some of them will become adults. Then this is like even adulthood, they are not safe. Like you can see one dragonfly is catching one of them. So even this is actually like a long food chain. So I saw them, and also you can see this dragonfly was caught by not this dragonfly, but some other dragonfly. So you can see a dragonfly caught by a signature spider. So this is how the nature works. So there are hundreds of eggs laid. So some tens of caterpillars may be reaching the pupation stage. So out of that, some of them will be eaten by other predators, even the adult butterflies. Then very few, 2 or 3 will remain to actually mate and produce the next offspring. So that is nature's rule.
Sir, 2 quick questions. One from Vaishnavi. She says that, sir, I observed in your presentation that most of the butterflies prefer invasive Lantana camara plant. Then why do we need to get rid of them?
No, this invasive lantana plant is only for their adults, because butterfly, you are seeing the after pupation stage, no? So for them, any flower is okay, not just lantana flower. If you give any flower which nectar, they are okay with it. Since now there is invasion and there are a lot of lantanas flowering all around, so they are naturally attracted to that. That's all. If you replace with any other flowering plant, they will be.
So basically, the host plant for caterpillar is more important here.
Yeah, yeah. So if you have only lantana, these butterflies where they will lay egg. So how the caterpillar will grow? How? So that is why invasive plants are a danger to the local ecology. It is not just the flower is important. No, the entire life cycle has to be sustained in a place. So if the lantana comes and replace all other natural vegetation, so then these butterflies will not have the food plants to lay egg on. So this only one generation you can see the butterflies. The next generation will just disappear. They will not have the host plants. Yeah.
Right, sir. So another question by Tarun Siddharth. He's asking, sir, is the mulberry plant the main food for most butterflies, or are there any other plants?
Mulberry is for that silk, this thing, no? That not for all the other butterflies. It is only for silk sericulture, they use mulberry. That is for that silk moth, no? Only they feed on that, not the other butterflies. Each butterfly has its own food plan. It is a different, not mulberry.
All right, sir. Thank you. So you can continue.
Yeah. So I think I have come to close, and just one question. You have seen all these butterflies. Anybody who has seen all these butterflies, or how many of these butterflies you have seen? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are there.
Sir, 3 to 4.
3 to 4 you have seen?
Yes, sir.
Some of them I've seen, sir.
Yes, sir, some of them.
Some of them. Anybody has seen less than 2 of them? No? Everybody has seen more than 2?
No, sir. I have seen
Sir,
only one.
Sir, I've seen 3, sir.
That is why I'm telling you are not keenly observing butterflies. So next time you keenly observe butterflies, because there is only one original butterfly, that is this one, tailed jay. All others are Photoshop modified colors, and there are no such butterflies exist.
No, sir, actually.
This second one, actually similar one, another one is there, but then wing shape is different. Otherwise, these two, impossible. There are no such butterfly. It was just to cheat you. Okay, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, anything else? I just have some more slides, but it is about butterfly gardens and all. If you possible, you people can go and visit some of the butterfly gardens. You will get more exposure to how the butterflies are reared in that butterfly gardens.
Butterfly gardens are actually very interesting.
A nice and way to develop interest in butterflies. That is there in Singapore to Bangalore. We have a good park.
Even Delhi, the first time I went to Delhi. There's Yamuna Biodiversity Park, and there is a butterfly garden there also.
So people are from different places. So nearby, if there are Bangalore, if anybody is there, they can go. And also Tenmala, there is a butterfly park in Kerala. So
you can also make a small butterfly garden of your own if you want in your home. If you have space.
Yeah, you can have some few host plants, and you'll automatically have a garden.
Okay, thank you, Arun.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So Aditi, can I take over?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Now you have learned a lot about butterflies, and butterflies, as sir explained to you
Can I just interrupt? Yeah. So there's just, I think there are a couple of questions. Just very small questions. One is from Krishna Kishore saying that do they have a circulatory or nervous system, and how do they suck nectar?
Yes, yes, they have a circulatory system. They have a dorsal tubular heart system, heart actually, and they have hemolymph flowing through.
Yeah.
They breathe actually through trachea, and they have a nervous system also. But another question was how they suck.
Nectar.
Same like other insects and animals eat by chewing on things. This actually suck, so using their tube attached to their mouth. That's all they have. The adaptation to suck liquid. So
Okay. Vaishnavi has raised her hand. Would you like to ask her?
I have a doubt. Sir, I have actually reared butterflies and moths, sir. When the adult has come out, I observed some liquid kind of things sticking to the box, the walls of the box, sir. What are they?
Liquid things?
Yes, sir. In oleander hawk moth, I observed they were red in color. And in common crow, I observed they were transparent liquid. What are they actually?
When they are coming out of the pupa, or
yes, sir. When they have come out of the cocoon, and when I was about to release, I see the liquid sticking on the walls of the box.
Probably they are excreting some of the liquid, but I am not very much sure what it is.
Okay, sir, I have the pics. Can I share it later?
Yeah, if you want.
Amniotic fluid.
Amniotic fluid is not there in insects anyway.
Yeah.
But,
maybe Vaishnavi, you can share the pics in the group. I'll forward it to Dr.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Any identification, if you have, when during the next week, if you are going out and seeing any butterfly, try to take a picture with your mobile is fine. You try to go as close as possible and take so that you will.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
And final question by Navya. That's it. Then we'll move on to the assignment section.
Sir, I wanted to ask about the camouflage of butterflies. I have heard that butterflies do camouflage.
Yes. Some butterflies excellently
like the
do.
oak leaf butterfly.
Oak leaf especially. It looks like exactly like a leaf. Unless you touch it, you will not believe that it is not a leaf. So some butterflies have excellent camouflage. But then not all of them, but there are some, just like what you told, the oak leaf butterflies are excellent camouflage.
And sir, is camouflage a part of mimicry that butterflies do?
Yeah, because it is one strategy by which they merge with the surrounding and escape the notice of predators. No, they try to mimic the surroundings, so you can call it as a mimicry.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, is there any flightless butterfly?
Flightless butterfly? No. unless you clip its wings.
All right. So we'll just now move to the assignment section. Over to you, Pramod, sir. Arun, sir, you can hang around for a bit since he can discuss the assignment.
Can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, all of you can see the shared sheets?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so sir. Assignment this year, because butterflies and birds are both flying and somewhat similar, but there are differences. You remember the first assignment of the birds. The first assignment of butterflies are also similar in nature. Only thing is, same identify two habitat, go closer to the butterflies, but the butterfly names you will have a bit, we are not giving any names. Now the presentation of Dr. Arun you have seen. Now maybe another tomorrow that will be shared also. You go to very carefully to the common butterfly you are seeing, and carefully you can take a photo through your mobile or something and carefully observe and draw. Finally, and come and identify. You can revisit this presentation, today's presentation. Then easily most of the common butterflies he is covered. So you will be able to 6-7 species or 10 species. It is not difficult for you to identify. In case if you are not able to, you saw a very common butterfly, it is not there in the presentation, which you cannot identify, down, nothing to worry about it. You just give your own name. But otherwise, whatever you feel your own name, you can explain in that remark what is it look like. But otherwise, you can identify most of the butterflies which are in your surrounding using the presentation which presentation. What is it writing? Somebody is writing here. What is it? Okay. It is because of so that you can identify easily and
please, nobody should use their cursor or anything.
okay.
If I find out, I have to move you out from the meeting.
Okay. So this is the first two. Are you everybody is clear? It is just like the bird.
Yes, sir.
That you same way, but only difference is I have fixed the time for the birds as 7 to 8. Now butterflies mostly they will be active after 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock and all mostly. So it is any time of your convenience you can do in the daytime, even the lunchtime, even little afternoon, maybe around 9 o'clock. Since if you have an online classroom classes, you will not be able to do between 9 and 12 o'clock. You don't do it, but after lunch when you do it, same 15 minutes, according to your convenience before 4 o'clock or 5 before 4 o'clock. Okay, 3 o'clock, anytime, even afternoon you can do. Go ahead, 15 minutes observation for both the different habitat. Same way, whatever the names, you go and look at the today's presentation. You will get most of the names, and then confirm it, and then you can put. If you don't know the name, identification is more important. Your observation is more important. You can put your own name and explain in the remark what does it look like, and keep doing things. The second assignment is again the same. Compare between these two habitat what you understood from after looking at the population or the total number of abundance of each of the species, whatever you understand, and that is very critical and important. That your observation, your thoughts, your understanding, your learning that you write in the second this particular space. Then the third assignment is unique for the butterflies, because as Dr. Arun has explained to you, different butterflies have different plant species as larval food plant. For example, he has told about the many lemon plants. If you have any lemon plants around you, or even a calotropis around you, or even a tree, amalthas. No, this what is in North India. You can see amalthas or cassia. Tamil in South India we call it kondrai or sarak kondrai, konna or something. It's that the golden showers or Indian laburnum. Similar kind of, there are some other yellow flowers which are again similar of the cassia. Any cassia plant also can be one of the very good butterfly larval fruit plant, or even calotropis he was explaining, or even if you have a smaller people tree, that you can even look into that, or any of this many flower fruit plant he has explained. We can again revisit that presentation, find out some one or two food plant. Maybe it can be a castor plant. Castor plant will be there as a weed everywhere. You can see, go look for it and carefully search. Just look at the behind. They look, just carefully look at for the maybe if there is a egg or sometimes larvae. If it is there in one tree, how many larvae you can count for that species, and keep on. You can see in any day, you can whatever number of different this kind of species, at least 3-4 species of different butterfly, you can just locate it, the plant number, and also you give here what is that species you identify, and that species larvae, how many, what all you observe, how many number of larvae you saw, how many number of eggs if you have seen, or you have searched the whole thing, you could not see anything, also is a fine. So see, this is plant species, plant number. This is actually plant number, same species, 2 species you identify that the same. For example, a calotropis, and this one is for instance is a castor plant. Plant species 1 is a calotropis. Plant is, imagine this for example I am telling. Plant species 2 is a calotropis. You go to one calotropis, then 2 calotropis, 3 calotropis. That plant number 1, 2, 3, 4, you just put it, and that same their observations you do it here. So 2 species you compare between many individual plants. But here what you write is, okay, it's not plant number, we have to correct it. It is actually even you can date time also you can do. What is that? Different plants. You have different plants you can do of the same species. You can do it. Then the fourth assignment is that if we select 2 species of plants which are in flowers, okay, go carefully, observe for a longer period, I mean 15 minutes each per a single day, just like what you have done for the birds for a different reason. But here what you do is that in front of the flower, carefully look at what all insects coming to the flower for the nectar or a pollen grain or whatever. So just carefully look at, sometimes you will see some butterfly, even sometimes not butterfly, some honeybees you will see, some beetle you will see, some other flies you will see. Whatever you see, keep a note on this here. So this is again observation date and time for that one particular 2 species you selected, that you do for three days, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes for the 3 days, just like what you did for the birds. The last one is that carefully observe carefully observe most common 2 butterflies. Observe it very carefully. If you want, you can take a photograph from using mobile, but you draw, not pasting that photograph here. You draw or paint, if you have color pencil or color thing, whatever, even a proper, as now Arun sir has explained to you, you have to look where, what color in the wing and that. You have properly draw it and properly draw it, and after drawing that drawing you photograph it and place it here, and then your observation of that particular, when you are behind, when you are all observation, you whatever about that species you can write here. That you do for the 2 species. This is the your assignment. And everybody understood this ones? 5 assignments? All of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Anybody has any doubt? Please tell me now.
If any one of you is having any doubt, just you can raise the question now itself.
This is now I have shared. This will be shared today, and all of you have do that and observing the this larval fruit fly, because butterfly generally, the moment butterfly, when you say, as Arun sir explained to you, it is not only the flying colorful thing. Even that caterpillar which is walking around in your plant is also a butterfly. Okay, so it is a butterfly in a different form. You understand that when you are studying butterfly, the number of caterpillar in a plant also is a butterfly. It's actually, though we call it a caterpillar, caterpillar is a kid of a butterfly. Tomorrow it will go become a pupa, and then pupa will come out of a colorful butterfly. So, and each butterfly, most of the butterflies have their own, as sir told you, know, there is their own flower, this larval food plant. But here Vaishnavi asked, you've seen a lot of butterflies sitting on the weed plant. It goes weed. See, after become adult, it has to fly for some few days, for which it needs some food or some energy, for which it will go to whatever flower is available. But for the survival is directly connected with the larval food plant. So if you have a butterfly in your surrounding, its larval food plant is definitely there somewhere nearby. So that connection is very clear. Okay, then for drinking nectar, wherever the nectar is, they will go. If that not some other flower, it will go. That is only a difference. So this is a very interesting area, because butterfly you can see very close by. Okay, you can see it very close by, which you can enjoy it. Birds will fly very fast. Butterfly will not fly very fast. I hope this week also will be a real enjoyment for you. Okay, And definitely some exams are there and all, but beyond exam, this is also a great enjoyment and learning process for you all. All the best for you. I hope if you don't have any further question on this, I think
Excuse me, sir.
please.
Sir, most of the butterflies are active in the summer season also, so because they prefer hot climate. How can we find them?
It's not like that. Actually, most of the butterflies, see, it all depends upon what is the kind of ecosystem you have in your surrounding. If you are in a evergreen kind of a forest area, or evergreen, a place where continuous rainfall continues throughout, and if you Kerala, many places and all, you will see butterfly all around. But in a dry place like Coimbatore or even many part of the country, butterfly need fresh leaf and everything to come up. So immediately after the rain, the flying period of the butterfly will be very high. If you, for that way, the number of butterfly you can see more immediately after the rainy season. It is very well connected with the rainy season because wetness is very critical. So since in India has some sort of two rhythm, one is a southwest monsoon and northeast monsoon. Wherever these two monsoon are very, very strong, that places, accordingly, the butterflies also will change. For example, many places you have southwest monsoon as well as northeast monsoon are distinctly two rainy season is there. So it will have two flying period, two peak period for the butterflies. But some area only one peak season is there in that period, that immediately after rain is the main period of butterfly flying. That is one of the broad reason, but availability of water is more critical. Okay, Ritik.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Sir, will I have to observe all the 7 butterflies?
Pardon? Clearly. Who is speaking? Oh, Debaradita.
Will I have to observe? Yes. Will I have to observe all the 7 butterflies?
No, see it always. If you have seen only 4, find 4. If you have seen more than 10, also you can put 10. I have just put 7
There are
now.
no restrictions. This is just the table. You can
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Aditi.
All right, sir. Krishna Kishore, nice butterfly. Thanks. Yeah, so thank you all of you. Thanks for joining in today, and I hope you will enjoy this week also. It might be a little challenging, but if you observe keenly, you will definitely find a lot of interesting things related to butterflies and other insects. So
as again, for once more, every day we are cautioning you, be careful with the COVID. Don't go to the public areas too much. Be with your mask when you are going and meeting anybody. Keep a safe distance. Okay.
Yes. And Vaishnavi asked a question whether she can write about moths. I think moths, you can make it a separate note, but here you can include butterflies and moths. I mean, whatever you are observing, you can include that. So that's it. And please submit your assignments by 4th December evening, which is next Friday. Some of you couldn't submit it yesterday. So please do that. And we'll see you next week with the wonderful world of mammals. And we'll be having Dr. Shomita Mukherjee with us, who will be talking about mammals. And hope you'll enjoy the next session. Before this, you have a good assignment to complete. So anyways, thank you all once again. And thank you, Arun sir, for spending quite a good amount of time today on Sunday. And thank you so much. And thanks, and see you all next week. Bye.